Imagine two apartments in the same city, in the same neighborhood, with almost the same rent. The first apartment belongs to a person earning $95,000 a year. When you walk in, you see a huge 75-inch TV on the wall, a $4,000 leather sofa, and a kitchen packed with appliances. Some of them are still sitting in their original boxes. The closets are full of clothes, and many still have tags on them. Even the spare bedroom is no longer a bedroom. It has become a storage room for things that have not been used in years. From the outside, this person looks successful. But every time they check their bank account, they feel nervous. Just 2 missed paychecks could put them in serious trouble. Now picture the second apartment. This one belongs to someone earning $52,000 a year. When you walk inside, the first thing you notice is space. There is a simple couch, a normal-sized TV, and a kitchen with only the tools that are actually used. The closet has clothes that are worn regularly. And the spare bedroom is still a real bedroom. This person checks their bank account without fear. They have 18 months of expenses saved and invest 20% of every paycheck. Same neighborhood. Similar rent. But the person earning almost half as much has far more financial security. So this is not really a story about income. It is a story about the secret connection between stuff and money, a connection most people never stop to think about. The first person is not careless in an obvious way. They do not gamble. They do not have expensive addictions. They simply built a lifestyle over time that needs every dollar they earn just to survive. The second person learned something powerful. Owning less does not mean living a worse life. It means living with intention. And when you live with intention, you create financial space that many high earners never experience. Today, I want to show you the minimalist money rules that separate people who always seem to have money from people who never do, no matter how much they earn. These rules are not about suffering or giving up everything. They are about understanding one simple truth. Every item you own costs more than you think. Let's begin with an idea that may completely change the way you look at every purchase from now on. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is easy to see. It is the price on the receipt. But the second cost is hidden, and in many cases, it is even bigger than the first. This second cost includes storage, repairs, cleaning, mental stress, and lost opportunities. Think about the treadmill you bought. It does not only cost money when you buy it. It also takes up space in your home. And space is not free. In many cities, every square foot costs money through rent or mortgage. A treadmill can easily take up around 20 square feet when you include the space needed around it. That means you could be paying hundreds of dollars a year just to store a machine that may mostly hold clothes. And that is only one example. A boat sitting in your driveway has the same problem. It may look like a symbol of freedom, but even when you do not use it, it still costs money. It needs cleaning, registration, insurance, winter care, and repairs. A $30,000 boat can easily cost thousands of dollars every year just to keep. But the hidden cost does not stop there. Every object you own also takes a small piece of your attention. It has to be cleaned, moved, organized, protected, repaired, or eventually thrown away. Even when you are not thinking about it directly, your brain is still surrounded by it. This is why clutter feels heavy. It quietly adds stress. It makes your home harder to manage and your mind harder to calm. Then comes the biggest hidden cost of all, opportunity cost. Every dollar sitting in things is a dollar that is not working for your future. That $15,000 home gym could have been invested. Over time, that money could have grown into much more. So you did not only buy gym equipment. You also gave up the future freedom that money could have created. This is why many possessions cost more to own than they cost to buy. The purchase price is only the beginning. The real cost continues as long as that item stays in your life. Minimalists understand this. They are not avoiding things because they hate comfort or nice products. They avoid unnecessary things because they have learned to see the full cost. And once you see the full cost, many purchases no longer look worth it. That brings us to the first rule. Rule 1. Calculate cost per use before you buy anything. Before buying something, ask yourself, how many times will I really use this? Then divide the price by that number. That is the real value of the item. A $200 jacket worn only twice costs $100 each time you wear it. But a $400 jacket worn 200 times costs only $2 per use. In real life, the more expensive jacket is actually the better deal. This one calculation can destroy most impulse purchases. A $300 kitchen gadget may feel exciting in the store, but if you only use it twice a year, it becomes very expensive per use. On the other hand, a simple $30 tool that you use every week may give you far more value. Cost per use also shows which expensive purchases are actually smart. A $2,000 mattress used every night for 10 years costs very little per night. And because it affects your sleep, energy, and health, it may be one of the best purchases you make. A $1,500 espresso machine may sound expensive at first. But if you use it every day for years, and it replaces coffee shop visits, the math may actually make sense. This is why cost per use is so powerful. It cuts through marketing, emotions, and social pressure. It shows you what is truly valuable and what only feels exciting for a moment. Rule 2. Use the replacement test on everything you own. Walk through your home and look at your things one by one. Then ask a simple question. If this disappeared today, would I spend money to buy it again? Be honest. Would you buy that bread maker again? Would you replace the clothes you have not worn in over a year? Would you buy another set of dishes sitting untouched in the back of the cabinet? For many items, the honest answer is no. That means those things are not in your life because you need them. They are there because of habit, guilt, impulse, or an old version of you that no longer exists. These items have negative value. They take up space, time, and attention, but they give nothing useful back. Every minute spent organizing, cleaning, or moving things you would not buy again is a minute taken away from something that actually matters. Minimalists remove these items without drama. They sell what has value, donate what someone else can use, and let go of what serves no purpose. At first, this can feel uncomfortable, but after a while, it feels freeing. Your rooms feel bigger. Cleaning becomes easier. Decisions become simpler. You know where your things are because every item left in your home has a reason to be there. Rule 3. Never upgrade just because you are bored. This is where many people quietly lose money. They replace things that still work perfectly. Their TV works, but the new one has better picture quality. Their phone works, but the new model has a slightly better camera. Their car is reliable, but the newer version looks more modern. Their furniture is fine, but they are tired of seeing it. These upgrades feel like progress, but many times, they are just wealth destruction wearing a nice outfit. Minimalists follow a simple rule. If it works, do not replace it. A phone that calls, texts, takes photos, and runs the apps you need is still useful. A car that gets you where you need to go safely is still doing its job. A sofa that is comfortable and functional does not need to be replaced just because your taste changed this month. This rule can save a huge amount of money over a lifetime. Many people replace phones every few years even when the old phone still works. That habit alone can cost tens of thousands of dollars over decades. Add cars, furniture, electronics, appliances, and clothing, and the total waste can become shocking. Minimalists escape this trap by clearly defining what broken means. Boredom is not broken. Wanting something newer is not broken. Seeing someone else with a better version is not broken. Broken means the item no longer does the job it was meant to do. Everything else is often just marketing convincing you to fix a problem you do not really have. Rule 4. Make spending harder and saving easier. Most people think money success is about willpower. But willpower is weak when you are tired, stressed, or emotional. Your environment is stronger. If spending is easy and saving is hard, you will spend more. If saving is easy and spending is hard, you will save more. Minimalists design their life so the better choice happens almost automatically. They remove saved card details from shopping websites. They delete shopping apps. They unsubscribe from promotional emails. They avoid browsing stores without a clear reason. And before buying anything non-essential, they wait at least 24 hours. That waiting period is powerful because most buying urges disappear when you do not act on them immediately. At the same time, they make saving simple. They set automatic transfers on payday. Money moves into savings or investments before they get the chance to spend it. They treat saving like a bill that must be paid, not like something they will do later if anything is left. This system works because it does not depend on mood. A person relying only on discipline will eventually fail during a weak moment. But a person who removed the shopping app and saved automatically has already made the good decision before temptation appears. Minimalists do not assume they will always make perfect choices. They build systems that protect them when they are not at their best. Rule 5. Count your possessions often. This may sound strange until you actually try it. Pick one category and count how many items you own. How many shirts? How many shoes? How many bags? How many kitchen gadgets? How many books you will probably never read again? Most people guess far lower than the real number. They think they have a few extras, then discover they own 3 or 4 times more than they expected. Counting creates awareness. And awareness changes behavior. Once you know you own 47 shirts, buying another one feels different. You are not just buying a shirt. You are taking the number to 48. Suddenly, the habit becomes visible. Minimalists often set limits. Maybe they keep 30 clothing items. Maybe they keep only a small number of books. Maybe they follow a one-in, one-out rule, where every new item must replace an old one. These limits stop possessions from growing quietly in the background. Without limits, things expand until every drawer, shelf, and closet is full. With limits, every purchase requires a real decision. And that small friction can save a lot of money. Rule 6. Rent or borrow before you buy. Many purchases are made during the excitement of a new interest. You suddenly want to camp, so you buy all the gear. You want to try woodworking, so you buy tools. You want to kayak, so you start looking at kayaks. But here is the problem. Many interests feel exciting in the beginning, then fade quickly. After a few weeks or months, the expensive equipment becomes another thing sitting unused. Minimalists avoid this by testing the interest first. Want to camp? Rent the gear for the first few trips. Want to try woodworking? Borrow tools or use a shared workspace. Want a kayak? Rent one several times before buying your own. This does 2 important things. First, it shows whether your interest is real or temporary. Many hobbies feel exciting until you actually experience the effort, time, storage, and maintenance involved. Second, it lets you learn what you truly need before spending big money. Beginners often buy the wrong version of something because they do not yet understand the activity. Renting and borrowing protect you from expensive mistakes. The deeper lesson is simple. Ownership should be the final step, not the first step. Most people buy because they imagine a future version of themselves. Minimalists wait until that future version proves it actually exists. And this is the main point behind all these rules. Money problems are not always caused by low income. Sometimes they are caused by too many silent costs. Too many objects. Too many upgrades. Too many small purchases that seemed harmless in the moment. Minimalism is not about having nothing. It is about making sure everything you own earns its place in your life. When you own less, you spend less time managing things. You spend less money maintaining things. You feel less pressure to keep upgrading. And you create more room for savings, investments, freedom, and peace. The person earning $95,000 was not poor because of their salary. They were financially trapped because their lifestyle consumed everything. The person earning $52,000 was not secure because life was easy. They were secure because they made deliberate choices again and again. That is the quiet power of minimalist money habits. They do not look dramatic from the outside. But over months and years, they change everything. Because wealth is not only built by earning more. It is also built by needing less. Second, renting helps you understand exactly what you really need. First-time campers often buy too much, or they buy the wrong things. Renting gives you experience before you commit. So when you finally decide to purchase, you buy only what is useful instead of guessing and wasting money. The buy first mindset quietly costs people a fortune over their lifetime. Look inside closets and garages everywhere, and you will find the remains of old excitement. Ski equipment from the time someone thought they would ski every season. Camera gear from when they imagined becoming a serious photographer. Music equipment from a band that performed only twice. Minimalists avoid turning their homes into museums of past excitement. They test interests before investing in them. They allow themselves to explore new things without carrying the long-term burden of ownership. Rule 7. Understand the lifestyle multiplier effect. Every possession you own usually brings other possessions with it. A boat does not only require money for the boat itself. It may also need a trailer, a vehicle with the right hitch, storage fees, maintenance supplies, safety gear, insurance, and special clothing. What looks like one purchase often becomes a chain of extra purchases. This is called the lifestyle multiplier. Big purchases rarely stay alone. They create a whole system of related expenses. The real cost is never just the price of the main item. You can see this everywhere. A home gym may need special flooring, mirrors, storage racks, better ventilation, and sometimes even renovation. A swimming pool needs chemicals, cleaning tools, covers, outdoor furniture, repair equipment, and often landscaping to make the area look complete. A motorcycle needs riding gear, storage, maintenance tools, and sometimes a truck or trailer to move it to certain locations. Minimalists think about the full cost before making a major purchase. They understand that a $5,000 item may actually turn into an $8,000 or $12,000 lifestyle once all the extra costs are included. And once you look at the full picture, many purchases that seemed reasonable suddenly look excessive. But the multiplier effect also works in reverse. When you remove one major possession, you often remove many related costs at the same time. Selling a boat does not only give you money from the sale. It also removes storage fees, insurance, registration, repairs, cleaning, towing costs, and stress. The savings are often much bigger than the value of the item itself. Rule 8. Define enough before you earn more. This is one of the biggest traps for high earners. They never decide what enough actually means. So every time their income grows, their lifestyle grows with it. They get a raise, then upgrade their home. They earn more, then upgrade their car. They make more money, then start buying better clothes, better furniture, better vacations, and better everything. At first, it feels like progress. But soon, the new lifestyle becomes normal. Then they need another raise just to feel like they are moving forward again. This cycle can continue forever. That is why people earning $300,000 can feel just as financially stressed as people earning $80,000. Their income is higher, but their expectations and expenses grew at the same speed. Minimalists break this cycle by defining enough before more money arrives. They decide in advance what kind of home is enough. What kind of car meets their needs. What level of comfort truly satisfies them. Then they earn toward that target instead of constantly moving the finish line. Maybe enough means a $350,000 home, even if one day they could afford a $600,000 home. Maybe enough means a $30,000 car, even if their co-workers drive $70,000 cars. Maybe enough means keeping a simple wardrobe, even when their income could support constant upgrades. Defining enough gives you a finish line. Without it, you are running a race that never ends. Your lifestyle keeps expanding, and your income never feels like enough. But when you define enough, something powerful happens. Once your needs are covered, extra income can go directly towards saving, investing, and freedom. A person who decides that $60,000 a year is enough and later earns $150,000 can build wealth very quickly. That $90,000 gap becomes fuel for financial freedom. But another person earning the same $150,000, while constantly increasing their lifestyle, may save almost nothing. Same income, completely different future. Rule 9. Measure wealth by options, not possessions. Most people measure wealth by what they can show. A big house, a luxury car, expensive clothes, designer furniture, visible signs of success. Minimalists measure wealth differently. They measure it by freedom of choice. Can you leave a job that is damaging your mental health? Can you take 6 months off if your family needs you? Can you move to another city for a better life? Can you start a business without guaranteed income? Can you retire before 65? Can you say no to a high-paying opportunity that goes against your values? These choices are real wealth, and they are only available when there is a strong gap between what you earn and what you spend. A person earning $200,000 but spending $195,000 has very little freedom. They are trapped by the income they need to maintain their lifestyle. But a person earning $80,000 and spending $45,000 has much more freedom. They can handle emergencies, take risks, and make decisions based on what they truly want instead of what their bills demand. Minimalists understand that freedom usually comes from liquid money, not physical things. Money locked inside an unnecessary car cannot help you leave a bad job. Money trapped in a bigger house than you need cannot easily support a career change or a long break. This way of thinking changes every spending decision. You are not just trading money for an object. You are trading freedom for ownership. So before buying, ask yourself, is this item worth reducing my future choices? Sometimes the answer is yes. But many times, it is not. Rule 10. Declutter in cycles, not once a year. Many people try minimalism by doing one huge clean out. They remove a lot of stuff, feel amazing for a few weeks, and then slowly start collecting again. The problem is that the big purge feels obvious, but the slow reaccumulation is almost invisible. 2 years later, they are back where they started. Minimalists avoid this by decluttering in small, regular cycles. Instead of one massive yearly purge, they do small reviews often. They look at incoming items each week. They review one category every month. They check the overall direction of their home every few months. This method catches clutter early, before it becomes overwhelming. Removing 3 items a week is easy. Removing 300 items once a year feels stressful, so people keep delaying it. Cyclical decluttering also keeps you aware. When you review your things regularly, you start noticing patterns. You see which categories grow the fastest. You learn which emotions make you buy more. You recognize which ads, stores, or situations trigger unnecessary spending. This awareness helps you prevent clutter instead of only cleaning it up later. Here is a simple way to start. This week, walk through your home and use the replacement test. Find 10 items you would not buy again if they disappeared today. Sell them, donate them, or throw them away if they serve no purpose. Then notice how it feels to remove things you never truly wanted. This month, use the 24-hour rule for every non-essential purchase. When you want to buy something, wait 1 full day. Track how many desires survive the waiting period and how many disappear. You may be surprised by how much of your spending is based on impulse, not real need. This quarter, count your possessions in 3 categories that usually grow without notice. Clothes, kitchen items, and entertainment products are good places to start. After counting, set a clear limit for each category based on what you actually use. Then define what enough means in your biggest spending areas. What kind of home is enough? What kind of transportation is enough? What kind of wardrobe truly meets your needs? Write these answers down. When temptation appears, come back to your own definition instead of letting marketing define your life for you. The results from these habits build slowly, but powerfully. Someone who follows these rules for 5 years will own fewer unnecessary things and save much more money. The gap between their income and lifestyle becomes wealth. And that is wealth that cannot be built any other way. Here is something most people never realize about minimalism and money. The relationship works both ways. Owning less helps you save more money. But having more money also makes it easier to want less. When your savings are strong and your investments are growing, the urge to keep buying often becomes weaker. Why? Because many people buy things to feel secure, successful, or important. But when your financial foundation is strong, you do not need objects to prove that story to yourself. Your bank account already gives you the confidence that your possessions were trying to create. People stuck in constant consumption often cannot explain why they keep buying so much. But many times, Spending is trying to fill an emotional gap created by financial insecurity. When you build real financial strength, that urge to spend for temporary comfort often starts to fade. This creates a powerful positive cycle. You spend less, so you save more. You save more, so you feel more secure. You feel more secure, so you feel less pressure to spend. Then your savings grow even faster. Each step makes the next step easier. But the opposite cycle is also powerful, and much more dangerous. You spend everything, so you feel insecure. That insecurity creates stress. Stress pushes you to spend for quick emotional relief. That spending makes you even more insecure. And the cycle continues until a major problem forces you to stop. The cycle you choose matters more than your income. High earners trapped in the destructive cycle can build nothing. Modest earners following the positive cycle can build real freedom. These minimalist money rules are not about pain, sacrifice, or living with nothing. They are about understanding that most consumption does not actually make life better. Once your basic comfort and security are covered, more purchases often add very little happiness. But many people keep spending as if every new purchase will bring more peace, more confidence, and more joy. Minimalists choose differently. They spend enough to live well, then direct the extra money toward freedom instead of accumulation. In the end, they have less stuff but more life. Think back to the 2 apartments from the beginning. The person earning $52,000 with 18 months of savings did not get there because of a huge income. They got there because they had clarity. They knew what mattered, what was enough, and what was not worth carrying. The person earning $95,000 and living 2 paychecks away from crisis was not poor because of their salary. They were trapped because they never questioned the idea that more stuff means a better life. Both paths are available to you, no matter what you currently earn. The real question is simple. Do you want to own your possessions? Or are you okay with your possessions owning you? The math clearly favors the first option. And so does peace of mind.